Clarence, we got a big week this week in Dallas Cowboys land. Before we talk about the upcoming game in balmy Buffalo, New York, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. They're for real. Up until Sunday night, all 9 of their wins, they have 10 now, all 9 of their wins, this is incredible, are against teams that currently have a losing record. Now, the statistical chance of that being the case in December is incredible. All 9 teams, 9 of the 10 teams that they have defeated this season have a losing record. And only one of them looks like they might make the playoffs. The Rams are 6-7, and they, you never know. They might turn around and they might slip in. But the Philadelphia Eagles, that's the team. The Cowboys went out on Sunday Night Football and kicked Jalen Hurts and his teammates around 33-13. I said before the game, anybody that wanted to lose money on that game should bet the Eagles, either straight up money line and certainly with the spread. I didn't think Dallas. I thought Dallas would beat them up. I didn't know if they thought they'd beat them by 20. But Clarence, one thing the Cowboys have consistently done, it's like a good team in college football. They've blown everybody out. When they win big for the most part. They had a close game against the Chargers, and the Chargers just kind of fair. But obviously that horrible loss in Arizona notwithstanding, what the Cowboys did on Sunday night, all it did was prove what you and I have talked about for a while. This is a top 4 team in the NFL right now. Question is, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, did that just totally show you what the Eagles truly are and that the Cowboys are the class by far of the NFC East? The floor is yours.
Well, there's a little tricky thing about the Cowboys being the class of NFC East. The Eagles still have inside track to the first seed, and to the not the first seed, but to being number 1 in the division because of that little tricky loss to Arizona. It's going to come back to bite the Cowboys. If both teams end up tied, the Eagles will get the edge as first place in the division because of conference victories. But yeah, the Cowboys have been playing better. The Cowboys have been playing better for the last month, and it was something that it's hard to say about a 10-1 team, but they weren't. They were more like Minnesota last year. They weren't the Eagles of last year. Jalen Hurts didn't look like the MVP of last year. Certainly, they kept winning games, and so you have to give them credit for winning. But they weren't that team. And we're a Cowboys team that they're beating up the bad teams, and what are they going to do when they start playing teams with a winning record? Well, they beat Seattle, which had a winning record when the Cowboys beat them, and certainly they beat the Eagles. And for some people, I know we're going to continue to move the goalposts because the bottom line is it doesn't matter what the Cowboys do into the playoffs. Because we're going to say, well, it doesn't matter.
Ultimately, right. But until that time comes, keep doing what you're doing.
No, I agree. I'm just saying,
you're 100% right.
They will be judged on how they do in the playoffs. But right now, as we're looking for things to say, this team is legit. Yeah, the Cowboys are legit. I mean, you look at what's out there, and outside of the 49ers, they still have not been able to overcome the 49ers. But who's better than the Cowboys? You can look at NFC, you can look at the AFC.
Who would you say? Baltimore's obviously playing really, really well. Kansas City.
Yeah, yes, they struggled against the Rams team, and the Cowboys blew out.
Yep.
So yeah, Baltimore's playing well. Again, the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs. Miami's playing had been playing well. It'll be a tough game in Miami next week, but again, Miami just lost to the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans team
with a rookie quarterback. So I mean, there's no cream of the crop, I guess, outside of the 49ers, and when they're healthy, they're tough to beat.